When you're thinking about a commercial juicer, you're already juggling a few worries. Will it actually keep up with a busy service line? Will it waste more fruit than it turns into juice? And will the price tag bite more than the profit you can squeeze out of each glass? Those are the questions that keep most owners up at night, and the answer isn't always obvious from the glossy pictures on a product page. I'm going to walk through what the Santos 68 actually does in a real-world kitchen, where its value really shows up, and who should keep scrolling past it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the most obvious thing about the Santos 68 is the sheer volume it claims to push, up to 140 liters per hour, which translates to about 40 gallons. That's the kind of output you'd expect in a hotel breakfast buffet, a large school cafeteria, or a juice bar that serves a steady stream of smoothies all day. If you've ever tried to keep a line moving with a home-sized centrifugal juicer, you know how quickly a bottleneck forms. The Santos 68 is built to keep the line flowing. The 3,600 revolutions per minute motor is the workhorse that makes that happen, and it's backed by a 5-year warranty on the motor itself, which tells you the manufacturer is confident the core component will last. Now, the inclusion of the Pulp bucket is a practical detail that can't be ignored. The bucket sits right next to the machine, catching the pulp as it's expelled, so you don't have to constantly stop to empty a tray or clean a chute. For a commercial operation, that means less downtime and fewer chances for a sticky mess to build up on the floor. If you need a continuous discharge system, the separate Pulp discharge tube is sold as an add-in, so you have the choice to upgrade later. That flexibility can be a plus if you start small and scale up, but it also means the base model isn't a completely set-and-forget solution. You'll need to factor in the cost and installation of the tube if you want a truly hands-free setup. What really matters in a commercial setting is food service compliance, and the Santos 68 checks the boxes with NSF and UL certification. Those marks mean the machine meets the sanitation and safety standards that most health departments require. For a juice bar that's trying to pass inspection without a hitch, that certification can save you a lot of paperwork and potential fines. The 2-year warranty on the unit, plus the 5-year coverage on the motor, also adds a layer of protection against early failures, which is something you rarely see at this price point. Speaking of price, the headline spec sheet might make you think you're getting a bargain for the output, but the reality is a bit more nuanced. The machine's footprint is sizable. You'll need a dedicated counter space of at least 2 feet wide and a sturdy power source that can handle a 3,600 revolutions per minute motor. Installation isn't a one-person job. You'll probably need at least 2 people to get it positioned, level, and connected safely. If you're operating out of a cramped food truck or a pop-up kiosk, those dimensions become a real barrier. In those environments, a smaller, lower-capacity juicer might actually deliver better ROI because the upfront space cost is lower. Another practical consideration is noise. A motor pushing 3,600 revolutions per minute in a commercial-grade housing is louder than your average countertop model. In a quiet CAF setting, that hum can become a distraction for both staff and customers. If your operation is in a bustling market or a gym where background noise is already high, you may not notice it. But for a boutique juice bar that markets itself as a calm, wellness-focused space, the sound level could be a point of contention. Let's talk about the actual juice quality. The Santos 68 uses a centrifugal design, meaning the fruit or vegetable is shredded and then spun to separate juice from pulp. This method is fast, which is why you see those high liters per hour numbers, but it also introduces a bit of oxidation. If you're serving fresh-pressed juice that's meant to be consumed immediately, the slight foamy texture and marginally lower nutrient retention might not be a deal breaker. However, if your brand promises cold-pressed quality or you plan to bottle juice for later sale, the centrifugal process could be a mismatch with your marketing. The presence of the Pulp bucket helps you monitor how much pulp is being generated, so you can adjust your fruit-to-water ratios on the fly, but the fundamental extraction method stays the same. Who should definitely consider the Santos 68? If you run a high-volume operation where the goal is to serve dozens of glasses per hour without stopping, and you have the floor space and power capacity to accommodate a commercial-grade machine, this juicer can become the backbone of your line. Schools, hospitals, large gyms, and hotels that need a steady supply of orange juice for breakfast service are classic examples. Those buyers also tend to have the budget to absorb the initial outlay and the ancillary costs.